नमस्कार दोस्तों। आज हम फोटोवोल्टाइक सेल की जो कार्यप्रणाली है उसके बारे में अपनी वार्ता जारी रखेंगे। इसके पूर्व जो मैंने लेक्चर एमएससी फाइनल के विद्यार्थियों के लिए दिए थे उसमें ये कहा था कि जो सोलर पावर है वो ग्लोबल जो डिमांड है इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की, जो डे बाय डे बढ़ती जा रही है, उसको मीट आउट करने का सबसे अच्छा साधन है। और जो डिस्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं जहाँ पे आज तक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो सिस्टम है या डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो सिस्टम है वो नहीं पहुँच पाया है, वहाँ पर बड़ी आसानी से एक फोटोवोल्टाइक पैनल की मदद से आप जो विद्युत की आपूर्ति है वो कर सकते हैं। उसी तरह की बात हम आज की वार्ता में करेंगे। जैसा कि मैंने पहले भी बताया था कि सोलर फोटोवोल्टाइक सेल जो है वो सनलाइट से प्रकाश विद्युत प्रभाव का इस्तेमाल करते हुए उस सिद्धांत की हेल्प से, जो समझ लीजिए, विद्युत उत्पन्न करता है। Whenever sun rays falls on certain material, what happens? Electric current flows through the external circuit, and this phenomena in physics is called as photoelectric effect. And this effect, the discovery of photoelectric effect, has altogether, as you know, has changed the thinking, the thoughts, or the models of the physics. The quantum model of physics came in to meet the challenges which were there in front of the scientists because of this discovery in physics. As far as solar power generation is concerned, there are two modules: solar thermal power generation and photovoltaic PV cell generation. As you know, photovoltaic cell, or in short we can say in simple language we say solar cell or photo cell, they are nothing but the normal PN junction diode, mostly silicon based PN junction diode, because silicon is easily available everywhere. That's why the simplest way to fabricate a solar cell is by using the silicon material, because a single cell does not produce enough power to run any electronic goods. So what we do is we connect a large number of cells to form a panel known as solar panel, and the size of the solar panel is decided basically by the power which you want. This is the basic block diagram through which one can explain how the PV cell works. The sunlight, as you know, in solar spectrum is continuous spectrum. When I say continuous, means all rays, all frequencies are falling on earth, starting right from infrared rays up to the visible rays, then of course in a very small amount the UV rays, and then the X-rays, gamma rays, etc. Continuous spectrum is there. So whenever sunlight falls on this, there is an anti-reflective coating, front contact, as you see in the diagram. Specially treated semiconductor material. It is not the simple silicon. We have to process it first and to construct this solar cell. And whenever current flows in the external circuit, what will happen? The lamp will glow to show the flow of current through the circuit. So as far as physics is concerned, we say the sun rays, solar energy which is traveling from sun to the earth is being converted to electricity by use of this device which we call as PV cell. This is how we demonstrate this, because as I told you, solar cells vary in size from 1 centimeter to about 10 centimeter or even more than that. A cell of this size can produce only a 1 or 2 watt at the most, which is not enough power for most applications. So to increase the power output, these cells are connected, electrically connected into modules, and then modules are connected to form array or panel, solar panel in commercial name we nowadays are calling. Depending on the power which you want to generate, the size of the panel is decided, and that depends on the availability of sun rays in that particular area. Of course, depends on the climate, whether we have a sunny climate or fog, or say less availability of sun rays, and many more things which affects the production of power in a particular plant which you want to set up for your own use or for the large use of the society. In this is the diagrams. Say if this is one cell, the combination of more than one cell, maybe 8, 16, 24, 32 or more than that, will form a module. More than one module will form a panel, and more than one panel we call solar array. Uh, so initially these solar panels or solar array was used to run the street lights. We were able to light a bulb or a light emitting diode LED tube light type of thing, which requires less power. But slowly and slowly, what happens due to the advancement in the technique, there are two things. One is the efficiency of the cell, and another is the utilization of most of the rays which are falling on the panel from the sun. For that, we have to redesign our material. Nowadays the scientists are working on newer and newer material with which they can increase the efficiency of the solar cell and the miniaturization process, because um, if you can develop more power with a smaller size of solar panels, that will be more useful to the society, and in simple words we can say it will become user friendly. Nowadays people are afraid of using this technology because of the fact that this is not user friendly so far. But if anybody is residing in remote area, suppose at high altitude, where the normal grid power is not available, there these solar panels are most effective. Day by day, the production of solar power is increasing in every country, and fortunately, India is becoming leader in this particular side. China, now there is competition between China and India. Earlier, the production was led by the US, that is America, but then Germany, and then India entered in the picture in the year around 2010. And after 2010, the progress of solar power projects or the solar power production, solar power plants, you can see, has increased almost, all you can say, exponentially, and the highest, or you can say the biggest power plant is now going to be established in India, and that too in Rajasthan, and that too near our district, that is near Bikaner. Of course, it is situated in Jodhpur district, Falodi Tehsil. The village you all are aware, Adani project, which will ultimately be able to produce around 3 gigawatt range power using the solar panel. A huge area, and of course, is used for production of large amount of water, but here it becomes cost effective in this sense because of less availability of water. Most of the land is what we call in local term as Barani land. Barani means a little agricultural use of the land is there. Only rain based agriculture is possible. Sand dunes are there, or you can say uh, this land is not effective for agriculture process. So here land is easily available. So uh, when one establish solar power project in such area, the utilization of wasteland is also effective. So this is how one can optimize the availability of resources for particular use using solar power. This is another example, latest theory of the solar panel. We have various type of solar panels. Photovoltaic solar panel on house roof type solar panel, a commercial name is given to such. In European countries, such structures are becoming popular, especially in the rural areas, or the area which are far away from the city area. There people are using this type of arrangement for their own use, and this type of panels are becoming cost effective also, and of course the use of space is also, and this type of structure is given because in European countries the atmosphere is, we have snowfall and many more things, so there also they are working. So in India one can think of such rooftop panels very easily and very effectively, because here the issue of snowfall is not at all. Now coming on to the applications, solar pumps are used for water supply. In the field of agriculture, electricity is the main problem, because with the normal grid process they have to cater the needs of local industries, so farmers can get electricity for a few hours only. So looking at the solar panels which are used to run a solar water pump have been very effective in that particular region. Moreover, the ocean navigation aids there, because normal grid parity, grid power is not available. So there also the solar panels are very effective. In satellite also the solar panels are useful. In telecommunication, most of the radio transmitters and receivers are situated on the mountain's top. So there normal grid power becomes costly. So there if we can use solar power, that is effective. And in remote area, rural area, if any village is not connected through the routine power supply, then there also the solar panels can at least and provide the small power for the poor people. So that way, day by day, these panels are gaining momentum and becoming cost effective. Uh, this is one table with which we are able to show that till 2013-14, Gujarat was the leader in India in production of solar power, but in 2000, after that, Rajasthan becomes the leader as far as solar power production is concerned, and nowadays the production in Rajasthan is much more as compared to the production of solar power in other states. This is the basic diagram, equivalent circuit of the solar cell. This is the current which is flowing through its shunt resistance, series resistance. Now we will discuss how the value of solar current depends on the shunt resistance, the series resistance, the exposure area, and so many things, the temperature of the solar panel, and so on. So with the help of the data, if you plot, this is the basic diode equation with which one can explain the production of current in a solar cell. Of course, this equation is very similar to the equation which we use for PN diode. So basic theory is same as for the diode. This is the temperature effect. So at 3 temperature, we have plot the VI characteristics of a solar cell, and you will wonder to know that as temperature increases, what happens? The same amount of saturation current is attained at little voltage or comparatively smaller voltage. So when we change the temperature from 25 degree to 45 degree to 60 degree, so this effect is visible, and this is the effect of the series and shunt resistance on the current VI characteristics. One can say if value of shunt resistance is this, how the value of current will change. These are the various type of solar cells which are produced. Of course, list is very lengthy, you can say, but again the simplest one is amorphous silicon solar cell. Then we have one more effect in which what happens in this amorphous silicon solar cell, the major defect is we are able to use only a small fraction of the solar power because of the threshold frequency restriction. As you all know, the photocurrent will flow through the circuit only if the incident frequency is more than the threshold frequency. Means the power which is less than the threshold frequency will not be of any use. So that's why the efficiency of the cell decreases. So for more efficient cells, what happens? People are working day night, and that's why we have synthesized different type of materials. We have biohybrid solar cells, we have cadmium telluride solar cells, we have concentrated photovoltaic cell, copper, indium, gallium selenide solar cells, crystalline silicon solar cell, float zone, dicentenized, gallium arsenide, hybrid solar cell. Various type of classifications are available for solar cells based either on the material which you use for fabrication of the cell or the technology which you use for fabrication of the cell. aim of all theories or types is how to increase its efficiency and how to reduce the size of a solar panel. When I say reduce size of a solar panel means how the more wattage can be obtained through a 1 square meter solar panel size. So if we are able to attain more power through a 1 square meter solar panel size, that will be more advantageous for the uh, humans or mankind. Another list of the types of solar cells. Now here this monocrystalline solar cell, this is important from the point of view because the biggest Adani project, which is about to run at its full capacity in Jodhpur district, uses this technology. There the panel are framed using the monocrystalline solar cells. So that's why this type of solar cell technology, uh, you can see, is being used in India. We have thin film solar cell based power projects, as I have shown you in my last lecture. Probably in Japan, this film solar cell technique was used to produce solar power in the range of gigawatt. So this is how various type of techniques and things are working to optimize, to increase the solar power production. And if a country can compensate its electrical power use by this type of production, that will be of most uh, useful thing, because of the fact that the conventional methodology, the material which is used in conventional method of power production, their resources are limited. Say for example, the thermal power plant requires coal. The coal reserves are limited in any country. Nuclear power plants require nuclear source, say uranium or any other. So that reserve is also limited, and moreover, with each such plant, many health hazards are associated. In thermal power, we have fly ash problem. In nuclear power, we have radiation leakage problem, and everywhere the conventional hydroelectric power plant, you require a very large size reservoir, and that again depends on the, that's not a foolproof method with which we can uh, rely upon. So this is the process by which, if we are able to convert, most useful, and life is again more, because of the fact that as on date the solar power is almost all 6,000 times more than the global demand. So even if we are able to produce with lesser efficiency, then we will be able to cater the need of all humans or all mankind. So in the next lecture also we will continue with the same. Thank you.